everybody. I pray that today has been a phenomenal day for you and that God has blessed you tremendously. Today, we have a special guest that is here all the way from Adukram, Ghana. And this is in the person of King Ababio. And we're going to have a talk with him today and just ask him some questions concerning not only Ghana, but also his rule, things like the economy. And so, and just about the culture and the heritage as well. So, King Ababio, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I want to start off first by asking a couple of questions. How long have you been reigning in your kingdom?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I answer this question, I'll do a little bit of introduction about myself. I am Usiodunja Ututu Ababio the Fifth. I am the Nifahene of Ekwapim and the chief of Adukrom. I have been on the throne for 8 years.
You've been on the throne for 8 years.
Yes.
So, and how many people are up under your rule, and how large of a space is that? How many acres or miles or villages, things like that?
Yeah, we have about 842 villages, and we have a population of 3 million.
Wow, 3 million people.
Yes, please.
Is it when it comes to running the kingdom and ruling the kingdom? Tell me some of the responsibilities that you have when it comes to ruling your kingdom.
Yeah, as a chief, you are installed as a king. You know, normally you people refer to chiefs as kings here. Yeah, we are kings, but in Ghana, you can call us chiefs. When you are installed as a chief, you have a special role. Before colonialism, chiefs were reigning, or chiefs were taking the system of governance back in those days. It was during the colonial rule that the power of governance went to politicians. In as much as that, there was still, some sort of power given to chiefs to govern their localities. So if you are installed as a chief, one, you see yourself as a leader. And as a leader, you try to unite your people, you try to maintain peace and order, and you try to educate over issues or cases that are submitted to you. Then you ensure that there is growth and development and progress in the community by a way of getting investors, partnering with them, and making sure that projects and programs goes on. Not that alone, we have the youth and we have the aged. You should make sure that everybody lives and lives at peace and ensure that there is peace and order within the community.
Speaking of youth, tell me how do you engage the youth when it comes to the community, the culture, and what role do they play?
Thank you very much. Most of the youth in Ghana now, precisely Ekwapim State and Adukrom, sometimes after graduating from school, finds it difficult to be employed. So we have introduced a system of technical skills, technical and vocational skills, and in collaboration with NGOs that we have, gone into partnership with, they come to train them to be skilled in some kind of tailoring, electrician, plumbing, and other works that they can do to fetch their money. Because most of the youth get into drugs and some become, thieves and get into so many social vices that don't prepare them for a good future. So with this partnership with the NGOs, they are trained and they have their skills in having something to do to fend for themselves. Aside that, I saw that most of the youth were coming from poor homes, some very brilliant, but were not having access to pursue their course after school. So I formed the Ushudunja Educational Foundation, which of course is active, taking care of students in the tertiary institutions, paying for their tuition fees and maintenance fees. This initiative was sustained with the support of the MP of my traditional area, Honorable Dan Okubutri. And also the district assembly also came in to assist. And there is one prominent man in Ghana who is called Mr. Alex Dati. He is from Edukro and was the chairman for the GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, and was the CEO for KGL Foundation.
I think some of us, could you speak up just a bit? I think some of the listeners said they can't hear you. Okay.
All right. So I'm saying my foundation, the Oshudunja Educational Foundation, was supported by the MP for the Okri constituency, Honorable Dan Butri. He initially supported the foundation to be sustained. The Honorable MP also came in, the MP for the traditional area. Then Mr. Alex Daddy, he is the chairman for Ghana Investment Promotion Council, GIPC, and also the CEO for KGL Foundation. He's a native of Aduto. So when I spoke about the taking care of the people who are needy but brilliant, he came in, and every year he has been supporting these needy but brilliant students. Now we have over 60 of these students, some of which have completed their tertiary institutions and they are in school. Apart from that, we have community farms where we engage the youth to work. You know, Ghana sometimes is very difficult to come by labor. So when you get labor, you try to pay them higher. But with the youth, every Akwesida, I talked about it yesterday at the church, we've been meeting in every 6 weeks, and we put before them that these community farms, any revenue or funds that generates out of it goes back to the community. So they have to also come and help so that we can maintain these farms. We have cocoa farms, we have cashew farms, we have citrus farms. They go there and work, and at the end of the day, they are giving something for themselves. And it's like they find themselves in a job or engaging themselves in a tax. So it prevents them from, going reward and practicing certain social vices.
Tell me about the role of women in Ghana.
Thank you very much. Women play a vital role in Ghana because when you come into our homes, it is the woman who takes control over the homes. Our culture, the woman sees to it that, the household is in order. He goes to the kitchen and prepare food. He washes the clothes of the husband and takes care of the children. The man tries to, give out money for the upkeep of the house, but most of the domestic activities are being done by the woman. So in fact, we give a lot of respect to women in their role as wives in the house. Not that alone, there are some women who are widows. They don't have husband. They lost their husband, or some of them are not even married. So these women, we engage them with the NGOs to come and show them how to do soap, how to, do sewing, how to do hairdressing, and these vocational skills that women are engaging. So most of the women in a Duke room, you will not see them on the roadside engaging themselves in prostitution and other vices, but they are always occupied because we make sure that they are being trained by these NGOs and they get their job as their career.
Okay. So tell me about the natural resources that are in Ghana.
Thank you very much. In Ghana, we have gold as the natural resource, and we have cocoa. You know, gold, I may say that it is taken care by the government. Some individuals also are giving concessions to come and mine. But with farming, everybody can engage in farming because land is available in Ghana, and most of the people in Ghana are farmers. Some are local farmers and some are commercial farmers. And when you come to my place, most of the men there are into farming. And cocoa is the major crop that is holding the backbone of the economy of Ghana. So most of these farmers are into the production of cocoa. And we also have oil. With the oil, I don't think it is not the individuals who go into, drill the oil, but it's the government. So I can say that the revenue goes to the government. But what the money goes into the pockets of the individuals is the farming. Because with the oil and the cocoa, some are under the custody of the chiefs and with the oil strictly by the government. So I can say that Ghana is boosting itself in the production of cocoa, gold, and oil.
I read that a great majority of the gold that goes all over the world actually comes from Ghana. And tell me that um, does the Ghanaians know that they have so much wealth up under the earth?
Yes. Before independence, Ghana's name was Gold Coast. Ghana existed in the medieval ages as the Ghana Empire. I said about it yesterday, and the Mari Empire. But in 1874, when the British colonized Ghana, they saw that all the land area in Ghana have gold in them. So they changed the name of Ghana to Gold Coast from 1874 to 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah reverted the name of the Gold Coast into Ghana. So in Ghana, I can say everywhere. And now it is becoming a canker because most people knew that gold is everywhere. So the cocoa farms, which are the backbone of the economy, are now being destroyed. Because, farming takes time before the crop, produces or produces and it is being harvested. But, gold, people can just go straight into the farm or pass anywhere, find the equipment and take the ground for gold. So now people are doing illegal mining, which is called galamsey. And it has taken most of the cocoa farms and it is destroying our land. And as soon as the land is mined for the cocoa, you can't use it for farming again because it creates craters and water collects in it. And if you are not careful, you can fall into the crater and die. But when you take Obuasi, the Obuasi gold mines is strictly for the government. It is being mined by the government. So that one, they used modern equipments and good strategies to ensure that mining is done without destroying the Obuasi town. Unlike Obuasi, all the other towns across Ghana, there are illegal mining of gold. And sometimes some of the chiefs employ Chinese people to come and mine gold for them. Because we, the chiefs, are the custodians of the land. And some chiefs, because of out of hunger and greed, they invite the Chinese and other foreigners to come and mine illegally in the country. And as a result of that, most of our farms are destroyed. And it has also caused most of the water bodies to also contaminated.
Wow, wow. How do you, with the water being contaminated, how can that be cleared up, or can it be cleared up?
It is not easy to be cleared up. the government is doing its best. So there are measures that was put into place that all illegal miners were being arrested or their equipment seized and burnt or destroyed. Because when they mine the gold, they wash it in the river. And mercury and all those kind of chemicals are very dangerous to the human health. And all the water bodies, I can say now Ghana, almost all the water bodies are being contaminated with mining. And before it can revert to its original nature, then I think the mining needs to be prevented, or we seize people from mining illegally.
Tell me, I want to switch gears for a bit, and I want to talk about where do you see Ghana going? What do you see for the future of Ghana?
Yes, Ghana has a brighter future because we have so many resources. Apart from the cocoa, gold, and the oil, we have other minerals. We have bauxite. When you go to Western region, there's bauxite over there. And we have, a sea, fishing. Ghana is giving so many resources by God. And it's like, it's the management of the resources and putting them into good use and ensuring that it goes to the right hand. If you're able to do that, I think Ghana will be better off and the economy will boom. But sometimes these resources go into wrong hands and becomes individual property. And some of them, are pocketed in individual pockets. But Ghana has a future.
Excellent.
And this will be based on leadership. People who have good leader, people who have good vision for leadership. If they have good vision for leadership, I think they can organize these resources and put them into better use and make sure that the economy of the country becomes very good.
Tell me what traditions that are in Ghana that you feel should be kept, and are there any traditions that you feel that should be changed?
Yeah, I believe that in our traditional setup, there are festivals, one, and I think we need to maintain our festivals because festivals, when being organized and organized well, it pulls people, all walks of life, to the community. They also listen to the problems from the community, and there are solutions to these problems. The government also comes in, the ministers, and some of the government machinery always attend festivals because the government rule the whole nation. So when they come and they listen to the plight of the traditional council, they also come in to also help. So festivals needs to be preserved. It is one of our cultural components that needs not to be joked with because it also brings people who have left our communities to different countries together. Some people have left Ghana and Edukrum and other areas to go to different lands. But during festival, they all come to see the relatives in the country, to see, the friends, to see the chiefs and the prominent people. And through that, they also contribute their quota to the development and the progress of the community. So culture needs to be preserved. And one thing that we need to ensure that it is taken away from culture is some foreign culture that is trying to influence, our culture. It's good for, there's the need for culture exchange, but we need to ensure that the culture exchange that is, accepted is of good norms. In Ghana, people are into, smoking, people are into gambling. You know, certain ladies wear some short dresses across, when there are festivals and when there are sittings and gatherings. And in fact, it's unlawful. And some of these things are copied from most of the Western countries. Because some of them even come and the way they dress, the way they appear, is unlawful. But because, you can't just tell her to, or tell, him or her to, put up a good attire behavior, it becomes something that people also copy, thinking that it's a style or it's a new way of life. So I think some of the cultures that are introduced from other countries, need to be taken care of, and we need to maintain our good culture and prevent those ones that are trying to contaminate our own. And some of the preservation of culture is our sites. We have some tourist sites, like when you come back to Edukro, we have waterfalls, we have a place where Okomfanoche, let me go back to history. There was a fetish priest called Okomfanoche. He was from the Nifa division, a town called Akuba. Nifa division is having 7 towns, and one of the towns is where this fetish priest came from. Okomfanoche left Akuba and went to the Ashanti region and developed the Ashanti kingdom. He conjured the golden stool from heaven and gave it to the Ashanti chief. And that golden stool is in existence today. So the golden stool has made Ashanti very powerful, and the pride of Ashanti depends on the golden stool. But the fetish priest, Okomfanoche, was from Okuba in the Nifa division and went to Ashanti to bless them with that golden stool. That is why Ashanti has become a very big nation. Ashanti has become powerful, and Ashanti is well noted when it comes into kingdoms in Ghana. It is the presence of Okomfanoche who went to Ashanti to let them become powerful.
How many festivals do you have?
We have 2 festivals. We have the Ohum and the Odra. The Ohum festival is celebrated in remembrance of the dead and our past heroes, our forefathers and fathers who are no more in existence. We celebrate this Ohum in remembrance of them. We use a week to celebrate this festival. Monday, all citizens across the country come home and we put on a black attire or a red attire. That is our attire that symbolizes a funeral attire. And we meet at the palace. And in Edukro, we have 14 clans. So all clans also meet in their various family houses and we mourn the dead. When we mourn the dead, there is a libation that is poured on the Monday. So Tuesday, we prepare them some food. That is ancestors. We believe that they are born, but they are still with us. They are custom. We believe that the soul is immortal, so they are with us. So we do mash yam with eggs and we sprinkle it and we give it to them. Prepare some food called kukonte and also put it at some points in the palace. The female goes on for Wednesday and we rest on Thursday. On Friday, we invite the fetish priest around to come and, perform some rites. And when they come, the rites that they perform, the drum and the spirit, gets into them, and they see through the spirit. We have the evil spirit and we have the Holy Spirit, but they see to evil spirits that want to invade the palace or maybe affect some of the chiefs and maybe disorganize their plans for the Udra festival, because the Ohum festival is celebrated a week before the Udra festival. So it's believed that the fetish priests come and, do those things to clear off every impediments and obstacles that is set to prevent the Udra festival. And the Udra festival is a festival celebrated in commemoration of the capture of the Odusu and the Obomai and the Heart of Feathers from the Ashantis in 1826 at the Battle of Dodua or Katamansu. You know, when I say that, I'm just pulling us back. In 1826, you know, like I said, Ashantis were warlike.
Mm-hmm.
And in the olden days, if you want to have a land, you don't buy. It's the strength of your military machinery.
Mm-hmm.
So you think you have a strong military machinery, you just attack your neighbor. And if you defeat them, then you take their land.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the Ashantis were very powerful at wars.
Mm-hmm.
They only go to wars to capture land.
Okay.
Yes. And, you know, capture all those on the land to be their subjects. So they extended their influence to the serving states.
Mm-hmm.
So the serving states all came together, which of course, a Krapim was included, and for that matter, a Dukrom. So we went to that war, and the Ashantis were miserably defeated. And it is believed that in olden days, when they were going to war, they used a spirit. They use a spirit, and when that spirit, somebody carries it and they are going, they can even conjure the enemies to be very weak. They can't do anything so that they will conquer them and, you know, take their land and some assets. So in the Battle of Akatabansu, the Kwapin people also took part and were able to capture the war spirit from the Ashantis, which is called Udusu, and the Obomai, the stool of the Heart of Feathers. So these stools were brought to the Kwapin. Precisely, the Udusu is kept in my division. So we celebrate the festival to commemorate our victory over the Ashantis in the Battle of Akatabansu or Dodua. And the king who led the Kwapim to defeat the Ashantis in 1826 was Nana Udanko I, who was a paramount chief for the Kwapim and a chief of Ropong. So when we came, it became a custom that every year we celebrate that victory over the Ashantis. So the celebration of that festival became the Udra Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it is being celebrated annually by the people of Abiatem. And Edukro people also celebrate the Udra Festival. And what we do is this. After the Uhum, the Monday, we go to the Royal Mausoleum and clear the path. When I say Royal Mausoleum is where the past chiefs are buried, or chiefs who died are buried. It's a cemetery for chiefs. So we clear there and we create the awareness that we are coming to, you know, celebrate Udra. Then the Tuesday, there's a tradition that we feed our ancestors. So a food is prepared from the palace, from the storehouse, you know, and there are 5 women who carry the food to the Royal Mausoleum. So when they go there and feed our ancestors, as they return from the Royal Mausoleum, a spirit takes them. They become possessed with a spirit. They don't know where they are, so people holding them. They will be shaking. And that 5, one of them will be holding a symbol of the Udra. And that symbol of Udra, he will come and throw it to me. I will sit in my state. And they will hold her. And even when she goes in front of me, she doesn't know where she is. So she will just throw it. And I'll hold it. And it is believed that when a chief is unable to hold Udra, there are so many consequences for that. One, either the chief may not live to the following year, or there is a bad omen which is coming to befall the community. But it has never happened that the chief has never been able to hold the Udra. It's a symbol. So the next day, which is on the Wednesday, we visit the various 14 clans. You know, as a chief, as a ruler, everybody is your son or your daughter, and they have to feel your presence. So you need to go to them and make sure that they are in good condition. They will tell you their problems, their issues. If there are any litigations for settlements, they will bring it out so that you will bring the matter to the palace and make sure that peace is maintained within the community. So on Thursday, I sit in state. You know, so many people knows me across the country. So on Thursday, people pay homage to me. They come and wish me well and pay me homage. And on Friday, we do the Grand Durbar. When I say Grand Durbar, it's a day that chiefs, you know, put on their regalia. Because as a chief, you know, you need to be elegant. You need to look very nice in society. So we have queen mothers and chiefs. They put on their royal regalia and they are carried in a palanquin, and drums follows them, and it's like it's a day of happiness. It's a day of joy. Everybody becomes happy. Everybody becomes so, you know, joyous that it booms. Yes, and it's one of the significant events that people always would like to come and watch. So after riding the palanquin, we are settled down, and there is a Durbar of chiefs all across the country, and ministers, sometimes even presidents, head of states, and all sorts of people come. So that is where the chief puts across his achievements within the year, what he was able to do, and the way forward, and what he wants to do. And in this way, the government comes in, or people comes in to pledge their support, and to also ensure that the society or the community that we live in progresses and moves forward. And we have so many displays, cultural displays during the Durbar Day, and a whole lot of, you know, activities goes on. On Saturday, we do rest, and on Sunday, we go to church to thank the Lord for a peaceful festival. I am a Presbyterian, so the church that we usually go and worship or give thanks to God after the Dry Festival is the Presbyterian Church. But notwithstanding that, there are times we do also visit different churches for them to feel like we are all united in our religious studies. Apart from the activities of the festival, we do so many things also to ensure that the community, you know, becomes formidable. Especially, we have health, programs. We invite people. Even there was a time people came far from the US for our health issues. They came and, you know, tested people, diagnosed people with their various ailments, and gave them the remedies, and also let most of these health equipments with us, and it helped us. Apart from that, too, there is education, diverse forms of things that we are facing. Sometimes even the drivers, we go to the DVLA to invite their leadership to come and educate them on how to have safe driving. And it's a whole lot of things. Sometimes there are competition, food competition, how to cook for the women, the women empowerment. Yeah, we cook and we select the best cookers and give them awards. And sometimes too, you know, we do donations to the widows and the orphanage. You know, we collect like rice, oil, and so many things, and we invite all the widows in the community, and we pack or package the items and give it to them. And it's like, you know, the program is so, you know, very nice. So Dry Festival is very nice. We play all sorts of games, football, ludo, indoor games, outdoor games. So during the Ojra festival, it's very nice. That is where the community comes together, relatives comes together, friends comes together to ensure that we uplift the image of our community and to know the best that comes out of the community.
What is the are there better times to visit Ghana than other times?
Oh yes, Ghana can be visited anytime because I always ensure that I partner with people or investors.
Mm-hmm.
And by so doing, we try to, build the economies, not only Ghana, but across the globe. Now we have so many investors coming down to invest. And by our labor support, we are helping them, and things are thriving. They are getting revenue home, and the traditional authority too is also assessing certain profits. So we open up for investors so people can come to Ghana at any time they want. And we are ever ready to receive them, and we are ever ready to cooperate with them, and we are ever ready to ensure that there is that kind of fraternity and coexistence between investors and the traditional council.
So I've got maybe one or two more questions before we close out. I want to shift it to religion. Tell me, what is the what is how many Christians are in Ghana versus Muslims versus other religions that are there?
Yeah, Christians are the most dominant religion in Ghana. There are Muslims, even some Hindus, there are these Ekanka, and we have these pagans, but the pagans form the small group, but the big group is the Christian group. And we have Muslims, Muslims are everywhere, but it's the Christians that dominate Ghana now. And even in my town, what I came to meet is that Muslims are not allowed to put up their, mosque in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Some people came to me, wanted to come and put up a mosque. They were requesting for a piece of land. And vehemently, I was opposed by my elders that they don't allow Muslims to come and put up a mosque in Edukro.
Mm-hmm.
But in some towns under me, I have 7 towns under me, a blue like this have a mosque. But I don't know the reason why, they are opposed to, the mosques being put up in Edukro. However, there are some Muslims staying around, but they don't go together and worship.
Mm-hmm.
They go to a group. Yes. So in Edukro, it's strictly Christianity. It's strictly Christianity.
Wow. The I guess my final question, and I know that probably you all have a whole bunch of questions, but I can't do that today. But I want to ask you one more thing, and that is about the education that is in Ghana. Tell me a little bit about the education that's in Ghana.
Yeah. Ghanaians, as I know, are very serious with education because education now is the key to success. Every Ghanaian is very serious about education. We have government assisted schools and you have private schools, and all are working. The previous government came and introduced the free senior higher education, which of course has helped a lot because people were not trying to afford the cost of tuition and maintenance fees to their wards. So after the junior high schools, Some people get into vocational trainings and they develop skills to do their own work without going to the university. But now, because of the free education, everyone is trying to go to the senior high school, and from there it gets to the university. There are some few ones in the villages, even now in the villages there are schools. Only there are some people, because uh, they've been trained up in the farms and those things. Whatever you do, you never go to the school. There are some people who are like that, no matter what. It doesn't see the essence of the education. So that is why initially I said that when I came, I saw that there were students who were very brilliant, but are needy, and established the Oshudunja Educational Foundation, where I had the support from the MP, Honorable Dan Kokubutri, and Mr. Alex Daddy, the CEO of KGL Foundation and the chairman for the GIPC, who is still being a pillar and ensuring that always people who emerges out of the town seeking for admission to tertiary institutions without money, this man comes to their aid. So it is not a matter of passing to the university, so come for tuition and maintenance fee and go. No. They go through assessment. We look at their results and we take them through interviews and some practical examinations before they are awarded. So some of them pass all right. But, in Ghana, there is this examination of practice. Sometimes people do this examination of practice. So somebody may come out with a very nice result, but it might not be an authentic result. So that is why we take them through re-examination, interviews, and those things, so that if you try to pass, then we award you the scholarship.
I want to thank you because with our group, people want to know, and I appreciate your time today. To all of you that are watching, I want to say thank you. I hope that today has been empowering for you, a strong education for you, and you'll be hearing more about this wonderful king and Ghana. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bishop.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back with you on next week. All right. Take care.